think about this. As a kid, I would stop crying. It don't feel like that. And so what they do is they tell you that anger's not a good emotion to have in this household. Or they say, go to your room until you've sorted your anger out.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Tiff and Tony Show. Hello everybody, welcome to another Tiff and Tony Show episode. Tony, welcome. How are you doing today?
I am doing awesome today, actually. I just got back from a bike ride. It's President's Day, so it's kind of a day off, right? And so I got up this morning and went for a 15-mile bike ride, and I'm back and I'm feeling good because of it. It's always good. And especially because I had a cold at the back end of last week. And so to get out and exercise the lungs after a cold always makes you feel great. So I'm feeling good. How are you? And I've got to ask, where are you?
Yes, I am good. The dogs and I rented a little place in Utah for a couple weeks just to give me a little reprieve from the van. And it's snowing outside.
I know, I can see.
That's my face outside with all the snow coming down.
Look at that.
Yes.
Snowing.
Oh, I'm so excited, yes.
Last week, we talked a little bit about the champion's journey, right? And how we're launching this champion's journey, helping kids understand that they're loved and they're cared for. And how our listeners can get involved through various ways: Wisdom Champion, Encouragement Champion, High Five Champion. And there's a journey that we're going to engage people on to help them understand that they're a champion themselves. But one of the things we talked about last week was our emotions. And you mentioned the importance of feeling all of your emotions. And I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about this idea of feeling all of our emotions and what that means. So let's just chat about, what does it mean to feel all of emotions, Tiffany?
Yeah, I know for me, it's been this process of actually experiencing the emotion. And so I know lots of times as humans, and I especially have done this a lot throughout my life, is we're feeling things that maybe we don't want to feel for whatever reason. And so we push them away, we hide them, we try to avoid them, we try to just kind of like throw them off to the wayside and keep going. The problem with that is those emotions and those feelings and those things that we're not experiencing don't actually go away. They get stuck inside us. I'm someone who believes that everything's connected, our bodies, souls, all the things are connected. And so our bodies will physically hold on to those things, and we can feel physical effects when we don't feel our emotions and we don't actually experience them. So what I like to do, and what I've been mentored through therapy and other friends, is validating your feelings. So regardless of you want to feel it or not, you allow yourself to name it, you feel it in your body, you feel it in the emotional part of you, and you just let yourself experience it. That way you can actually work through the emotion than avoiding it. And what can happen if we avoid it is that it'll come back at some point, maybe a short time down the road, maybe a long time down the road, depending on how much we keep bottled up. And we might have an experience of exploding emotions or imploding, which I've experienced both before. But when we're able to validate and work through it, we actually get to move on and move past the emotion, which is the myth that tucking them away and hiding them is getting through it and getting past it so you can move on. You're not actually moving on, you're still holding on to it. So when you're able to experience it, you can truly move on in freedom. That doesn't mean you may not be affected by this emotion again, or you may not be maybe triggered by a situation that brought it up, but it just means that you're on your healthier path to deal with it emotionally. So what do you think about all that, Tony? And what does it mean to be emotionally agile?
That's all amazing stuff there. And it's not just what we tell ourselves, it's what people turn around us tell us. Right, think about this. As a kid, I would stop crying. It don't feel like that. Or even you come home angry and a parent lovingly says, why are you angry? And you tell them, oh, so-and-so didn't listen to me today. Well, that's okay. You know, they're probably doing X, Y, and Z. And so they're defending that person. And so what they do is they tell you that anger's not a good emotion to have in this household. Or they say, go to your room until you've sorted your anger out. I know I am guilty of that with my kids. And I look back at it and I'm like, dang it, I shouldn't have done that. But it is what it is. And that's what happens, right? And what you just said there about the emotions not going away, there's a thing in the brain called the reticular activating system. It's like a catch net that catches all of that stuff, right? It's where the fight, flight, and freeze process lives. A lot of our basic functioning. And so when we actually just downplay an emotion, what we're telling our reticular activating system is just hold on to that. And so it never goes away, right? It just keeps coming up. And that's one of the problems. And so emotionally agile means that we are, as you said, aware of all of our emotions, right? All of them. Picking a good one right now that people frown upon, jealousy. Jealousy is an emotion. And jealousy is an emotion that's frowned upon, and everyone says, that's bad, it's not good, you should avoid it. But really, if you actually leaned into jealousy, jealousy is actually indicating something that you desire in your life, right? And I get it, there's bad jealousy and good jealousy, as it is everything. But if you were to lean into some of the jealousy, like I'm sitting here watching you sit in the snow and I'm kind of like, man, I'm kind of jealous. I want to do that. Well, that's actually the explorer in me that wants to go and play in the snow, wants to go and do snowboarding, wants to go and have some fun and do all of that good stuff. And so if I was to lean into that, that would suggest, hey, Tony, if you've got the capability, go to the snow and have some fun, right? But because jealousy is a bad thing, I'm going to push that away, push that to one side, which actually bottles up because the RAS grabs it, right? The reticular activate. And so now I'm holding that as something inside of me, and it's now kind of causing the bad feelings that we get, right? And those bad feelings makes us explode or implode. Emotionally agile is being aware of our whole emotional self. Anger is another one. We say don't be angry, but if we were to lean into anger, that would suggest there's something that we care about on the other end of that feeling. And now suddenly we could kind of go, what is that? And more importantly, anger's needed from time to time. I need to be angry. If I see a kid not being treated well, I need to get angry because it drives me into action and it makes me step out and do something about it, right? So I need angry Tony as much as I need loving Tony. So emotionally agile is understanding all of the emotions and understanding that they're all needed through our life at some point. The secret is, can we be agile enough to jump in and jump out, jump in and jump out, right? Because we need that agility to not let anger just control us and become us, right? And so one of the things and the tool that we're going to give our listener today is this idea of what we say about anger or jealousy. I am angry, right? Means that my whole body is angry. I am means that's me, right? So that gives me no space to do anything else. Changing that by just saying I'm feeling anger creates a very different response in the body. It gives space for something else to belong, right? Take it one step further and you can actually say, oh, I am noticing the feeling of anger arising within me. And then you can sit there and say, why is that arising within me? And then you can do something about it.
What I appreciate about that is you're basically explaining that our feelings are not our identity. They are a temporary experience that we're having. And that also releases us from shame, because shame can often be attached to our identity in the sense of I say, oh, I am angry equals I am bad, because culture tells us we're not supposed to be angry. So now I'm shaming myself because I am bad. Another thing I appreciate about what you just said is it reminds us that our feelings are just that. They're feelings. So it's okay to feel all of these emotions and have these experiences. And the important part is what we do with them. Because I can feel angry, but yeah, it's probably not the right thing to punch someone in the face because I'm feeling angry, or kick a dog, or whatever other thing you could come up with that would not be good just because you're feeling angry. Instead, that gives me an opportunity to explore the information that I now have, because emotions are information, like you also mentioned earlier. So now I can take the information that I know that I'm feeling angry, and then I can decide what might be the best way to act and move forward from there.
Right. Yes, I love that. And you just brought up a point there, and I heard this I read this in a book, and they were talking about a lighthouse, right? And a lighthouse is there to stop ships steering into land, right? Emotions are the same thing. Emotions are signals to us that something is up ahead, and it's either something that jealousy, snow, I want to go play in the snow. There's an adventurous person inside of me, right? And I want to go and explore and enjoy the snow. And I could lean into that. And it's that signal to tell me that's the type of person that I am and that I like adventure. But if I was just to hide that, then I would never know. And all then I would do is create resentment. And then the resentment eats me up inside. And so, yes, feelings, signals, it's brilliant stuff. That if more people can understand that they've got a range of emotions and they are there to be listened to and looked out for as signals as the life you want to live or the life you want to avoid.
So that is a perfect place to end. And just a reminder to practice that tool to assess your emotions and figure out what information it's telling you. Thank you, Tony, and we'll see everyone next week.
Yes, thank you very much, Tiffany. Awesome stuff. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining Tony and me in this week's episode of the Tiff and Tony Show. We hope you feel encouraged and motivated to keep growing with us. If you like what we do here at PureGame, one of the best ways you can support us is by liking and sharing this video with your friends on social media. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel using the button directly below this video on YouTube, and you can donate at our website, www.thepurgame.org. And with that, we'll see you right back here next week.